Hey, yo, Chris Harrison, I'm gonna need for you to bargain or do some type of networking with ABC next season and ask them if you can get like an 8 to 11 week run. Because to put this show on a Monday and a Tuesday is a lot to ask from people. And had it not been for you guys, I would have forgot that this show was on Tuesdays as well. Damn! Anyway, let's get into this review. So, Bachelor in Paradise has officially turned into Fire Island because none of the guys are interested in the girls. They're interested in just spending time with each other, just being bros and just having a good time and laughing. I have never seen Diggy laugh so much. He is having such a good time with just the guys. Ben as well. Like, I feel like when Ben is with the dudes, that's the only time he doesn't talk about his damn dog. It's just so weird, and I feel... Animals! I live in the hills. Pray for me. Anyway, it's just so weird to just see like the girls just sitting around like being so depressed and sad that none of the guys are into them. Especially Lacey, because I told y'all, she gives me Carrie tease. Keep an eye on her. She is going to set Bachelor in Paradise on fire. Literally. So Adam arrives without Adam Jr. And as soon as he arrives, all of the ladies are just all over him. They are like falling over Adam. They're talking about him in their confessionals. And I'm telling you, I feel like these ladies just sat and watched Rachel's season. It was just like, this is who I'm coming after. This is who I'm coming after. Because the guys from Rachel's season are the only ones, except for Iggy, who are getting like play. These girls have been looking out for them and they have set their claws in the dudes from Rachel's seasons that they want. And Adam is one of those guys. Like he wasn't like a popular dude on Rachel's season that we saw, but on this season, like all of the girls are just like, I want to talk to Adam. And even Raven, who is being set up as like the, you know, the most desirable chick of this show. So she's like into him. And I'm just like, Adam? Like Adam looks good, but I'm just like, Adam? Oh, okay. So he arrives and the ladies are flocking to him like he's the only straight guy in the church. Because let me tell you something. Straight men in the church get play inside of the church that they would get nowhere else. They rack up girls that they could never get outside of the church because, can we tell the truth from shame the devil? There aren't a lot of straight guys in church. Stay woke. No shade, right? But how is Raven this girl that all of the guys want? I feel like this is producer prodding. I really, really do. I feel like they are setting her up to be the next Bachelorette. I'm not saying that Raven is not a beautiful girl. I'm just saying that there are so many different guys and they all want Raven, who is a very specific kind of person. And to have all of these various men just interested in this one person, it doesn't read real to me. I really feel like she's being set up as like the Bachelorette, because not saying that she couldn't rack all these guys, maybe she could in Kentucky, but I'm just like, girl, nah, I don't see it. I don't see it. Derek and Taylor are still a thing. Taylor. Okay, I still don't know who Wells is and why he's there. Like, I know that he's from like the Bachelorette family. I'm just not understanding his role. Like, why would you take somebody from the family and make him the bartender unless they're going to try to create a love story with him? But then something happens later on in the following episode. I don't know. I don't understand. I do not understand his presence. Although Dean is fine, I still stand by everything I said about him on my Bachelorette reviews, that he is way too young for a relationship. He's way too young for marriage. He is way too young to be like the Bachelor. He's just not ready because he is so immature with his feelings. Because Christina, and I'm not defending her 100% because I feel like she is also, on the level of Lacey, we're just not built for this kind of show, because I feel like she is way too like far invested in this relationship that just started. You know, like you don't know this dude, you watch him on TV and so you've made up who he is in your mind, but I don't know. I feel like she's far too invested, but let's stay back on Dean. He mistreats her because he does not want to get attached and because he wants to keep her at an arm's length. But then when he feels like being bothered with her, he'll show her affection. And he's just so young and immature. What he's doing is what high school boys do when they want to break up with their girlfriend before prom because they want to go with another chick, probably a chick that puts out. You know what I mean? So like he's being very mean to her and trying to push her away, but she's so invested in him that she is allowing him to, in a sense, like verbally, not abuse, but mistreat her. He's just being very mean to her. He's being extremely mean to her, and she's taking it because she wants this dude to be the one in the end. And I feel like, honey, you're fighting too hard so early on in your relationship that you just need to move forward. Dean is not for you. He is not ready, girl. Ben, sweetie, the reason why Raven has moved on is because you're so damn creepy with this dog. He brings his dog up every time. It is so uncomfortable. No woman wants to come second place to a pet. Like, are you kidding me? He could not have a conversation without talking about his dog. He could not have a confession without talking about his dog. Now, I don't own a pet. I'm not a pet person. I know people who are pet people. This is crazy. He is like off his rocker. I have a friend that calls her dog her child. You know what I mean? She is not this obsessive as Ben. He's like, oh, I had to leave my dog. Okay. And can I just say, the sun is doing some serious damage to the Alabaster contestants on this show, because Raven's skin is done. It's only been a few days and mother is peeling and pulsing. Oh, get out of it. Raven and Ben, y'all should have been on Rachel season where they had all the black people on like freaking icebergs like Alaska. That's where y'all need to be. Paradise is not for y'all. Chris, you need to do a Bachelor in like Alaska or something next time, so at least the Alabaster contestants don't have to suffer as much, because man, Raven is beyond well done. Mother is cooked. Get her off the grill. Robbie in this comb over again. There are so many men on this show that just need to let it go. Let it go. Robbie, please let the comb over go. And Matt, what happened? You had all this hair at the men tell all. What? And he was darker. I don't know what kind of upgrade you work Jasmine did on Matt, but he looked good at the men tell all. Paradise, not so much. And speaking of Jasmine, it's really, really hard to watch her not read Matt's signals correctly, because he's over it and he's done. I don't think he's being as mean to her as Dean is to Christina, but he wants to move on from where they're at. However, Matt, you also need to stop being physical with her if you want to move on to something else. You know what I mean? Because you say you don't want to hang out with her, and then we get pictures of, or like we see scenes of you where y'all like cuddled up. So if you want to be done, be done. Don't keep on playing games with her. Did Iggy just use Judaism to try to manipulate a rose from Lacey? Oh gosh. Iggy is so annoying. He is so annoying. Oh gosh, poor Lacey. Like I told y'all, every time she's on the show, I will continue to reiterate, I do not think that she is healthy to be on this show. She's falling apart because none of the guys are attracted to her or really want to connect with her. And I don't think it's because Lacey is unattractive. I think it's because she's unattractive. Like, she has to get this together because men don't want to be around all that crazy. She's just so emotionally unstable. And again, I don't know if this is from her grandfather's passing or if she was like this on the season that she was on, but she just got to get a hold of that because it's just not attractive. It really, really isn't. And I'm disappointed in Diggy because he knows he does not want Lacey, right? He's never had a confessional where he said anything about her. He's not interested in her, but he's using her to stay here. And I just don't like that. That's not a good look on you, Diggy. And then he kisses her. Dude, you deserve everything that's coming to you because you cannot kiss Lacey and walk away. Oh, that kiss is going to haunt you. As long as Lacey is on this show, you better sleep with one eye open, brother. Stay woke. Dean. Our boy has gotten cocky. He's starting to feel himself now. So right before the rose ceremony, he decides to put the brakes officially on Christina. And you know why he's doing that? Because he knows that other women in this house want him. He also knows that Christina is probably weak enough that she'll still choose him. See, I don't like that because you're doing like the popular dude, the jock. You're playing like I'm cute and I can get whoever I want to. That's the thing. I liked Dean before I knew that he was fine, because when people know that they are attractive and that a lot of people are interested in them, it can either go two ways. Either they remain humble and they're kind of like shy about it and don't really want to talk or don't really want to manipulate people using that, or they become a Dean and they become aware of it and they become very manipulative and they start to show a side that makes them ugly. And that's what's happening to Dean. You could have been a bachelor. fool. Speaking of fools, Christina picks Dean. She gives Dean her rose. Dummy, he just told you that he's not interested. He wants to put the brakes on whatever y'all had right before the rose ceremony. That means he wanted somebody else to pick him. And then you give him your rose. Ma, where are her girlfriends? He is not interested in you, girl. Joey Lawrence and Iggy get cut, and some other dudes who I don't know their name, but they didn't make an impression, so not surprised. D-Lo shows up, and all of a sudden, the guys are interested in a woman. Like, they're all going crazy over her. Even the poor man's John Krasinski. Okay, Taylor? I told you, you moved too fast with this fool. Now, all of a sudden, he's joking about how he's not sure that he's in a relationship with you because Danielle is here. See? You moved too fast, sis. You don't know who's going to come down them steps, and you over here all wrapped around budget John Krasinski. Girl, you could do so much better. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's the best way to describe him. Dean's a dick. He is a dick. Because as soon as Danielle comes down, all the men, who I'm not surprised, are all over her, especially Dean. Like, he's like the front runner. He's all interested in her now. And now he's being extra mean to Christina because he wants to leave the door open for Danielle. That's on you, dude. You should have told her from the beginning that you wanted to wait and see who else was here, that you did not want to get serious, and that you feel suffocated. Like, you keep on stringing this girl. Oh my gosh, Dean. So let's get into Christina, right? Because, sis, I was riding for you because I do not like how Dean is manipulating you and using you. However, you're a grown woman and you have to take responsibility for your actions. D-Lo shows up and Dean is immediately interested, right? So Christina does the thing that women should not do, but we do it anyhow. She gets mad at Danielle and starts like talking about her negatively. And I'm just like, wait a minute. She don't know you like that. She don't even know that you and Dean are really into something because he's telling her one thing and then you're not even really addressing that you have something. She even said to you, you went on a date with him, right? And you're like, yeah. I would have been like, not only did I go on a date with him, I got a ring. That's my man. He has been in this womb. Like, you should have said something. You're not really being forthright. You're just wanting something to happen and you're not really doing any effort. If you wanted to stake your claim to Dean, then you should have staked your claim right there with Danielle. You should have been like, we got something. So if you want to get with him, it's going to be a problem. Don't go to the confessional and start shading her and saying negative things about how she should stay away from him when you haven't even made it known. Dean is not going to make it known because he already told you that he wanted to pump the brakes on what you were doing. Sis, you have got to take responsibility. You have not known this man this long to be so wrapped up in him and to be crying over him and getting upset and losing yourself every time you sit down and talk about him. No, honey, this is on you too. These women, what the hell is wrong with these women? Her and Lacey got to go. Jasmine, you too. You on Thin Ice acting real crazy about Matt and y'all just met. What are y'all doing? And you know what, Christina? Maybe Dean would be more interested in you if you were less emotional. You are so emotional right off the bat. He is doing so much work just to be in your presence because you desire so much. That is not attractive to any partner, male, whoever. I would not want to be with a guy who like is just, his claws are in me right away and it's just so much emotional labor to be around this dude. And also, sis, you are lazy. Can we talk? Christina has slept throughout this entire season thus far. Every time we see her, she is either laying down or about to fall asleep or getting out of bed. The only time we've seen Christina upright is when she's at the bar or in a confessional. Every other time she's sleeping. Girl, wake up and get your man. The dick. I cannot believe you. So he goes and do this half birthday cake thing for Danielle. And I'm just like, oh my God. You are horrible, Dean. Right after he's like sitting with Christina, he does this whole thing about, oh, it's somebody's half birthday. I ain't never heard of that. You are sitting over here playing two girls in front of their faces. Christina, I don't think you got the balls to really get out of this situation, but Danielle, do not allow yourself to be played, honey. You seem like you got a good head on your shoulders. Do not allow this little boy to play you because he's trying to sit over here and be the Mac on national TV and had these two girls falling over him, and it's not a good look, Dean. I am disappointed in how you are acting and in those baby arms. So I just thought about something, and now this whole Dean and Christina drama makes sense. Remember when they were talking about how when the show was like shut down for like 2 or so weeks, that the cast was still like hanging out and meeting each other and you know doing their thing, right? Christina talks about how Dean came out and visited her in Kentucky. Dean hit. That's what it is. He hit it and he ran. So now he's sitting here with this woman who he was probably saying sweet nothings in her ear when he wanted to have sex with her. And then finally he had sex and he's done. But now he got to sit here and play the game with her because he basically, you know, enjoyed her Disneyland in Russia. So that's what's going on here because Christina is now emotionally attached and physically attached to this dude that she has had sex with. And I don't think she has the heart to admit it. And I don't think that Dean would want to admit it, but they was doing it up in Kentucky. And she even said that they were acting like they were like a couple. So Dean is over here acting like he's her boyfriend and, you know, sleeping with her, hanging it out with her in Kentucky, meeting her family, and then coming back to paradise and acting like they just, all they had was that time where they was just talking and cuddling, like it wasn't nothing more than that. But it was a lot more that happened, Dean. You led this girl on because let me tell you something. She is still into him. If you check her Instagram, she got all these pictures of her and Dean. And I'm like, you are sprung. And I feel bad for her because Dean ain't sprung. Dean ain't sprung at all. What he is doing is he is living it up and he is loving all this attention that he is getting. I'm telling you, Dean is not going to settle down for a very long time. He is going to smash all of his fans. Hello. I'm kidding. I would never. Baby arms. But he's going to go through all of these girls that like him. He's probably going to start dating a starlet. Dean is going to enjoy his time in the spotlight for a very long time. We won't hear about Dean settling down until he's way into his 30s. Come back and Christina is still distraught over Dean. And I'm like, girl, either go home or get yourself together because you are going to end up without a rose because no guy wants to. And I don't want to say in the sense that she's damaged, but she's kind of unlawfully claimed by Dean. He doesn't want her, but there's been so much damage that he has done. Another dude don't want to go there and handle and have to deal with that emotional baggage or work that he's going to have to do to get her out of this dark ditch that Dean put her in. And honestly, girl, it's a turnoff because I know you slept with him. I know he probably blew your back out and had your mind all over the place and had you thinking all of these things that probably was not going to actually come to fruition. However, you still have to take some responsibility because it just was not enough time for you guys to establish this relationship. Y'all still haven't talked about what y'all doing. Girl. So Sarah arrives, and no shade, but she reminds me of a very adorable character from Dark Crystal. You know what I mean? Like she has like the Dark Crystal kind of features in a very cute way. Like no shade, but I saw her and I was like, look at this little cute Dark Crystal. So there has been a lot of fraternizing going on with this cast while Bachelor in Paradise was shut down. So they all can go kick rocks with that whole, we were so distraught, we had no idea what was going on. Production was so protective of us. Production couldn't find y'all because y'all all in hotel rooms banging each other. Because Raven is talking about how when they were in this Dallas hotel room, her, Matt, and Sarah spent the night together, and then the next morning she saw Matt cuddled up with Sarah, and I'm just like, well, first of all, what the hell is going on? Like, what is going on with all these Bachelor in Paradise orgies? Like, this show is so weird, and the fact that it's on ABC, I am still shocked. Oh, Raven, you shady little heifer. I admire this. I admire the lengths that you are going to get your man because Raven has her claws set in on Matt and she's become like the head chick in charge. Like she's the Regina George of all the women in Paradise. Like they flock to her, they listen to her, they bow down to her. She runs the girls, okay? Who's in charge of the girls? Raven. She runs them. So she's sitting down when Sarah comes in because every time a guy or a girl come in, they all get together with their sex and they talk about the people that are coming in and who's with who. So all the girls are debriefing Sarah and Raven's just like, I know you're interested in Matt, but I think that you do really good with Ben. Like Ben is a really good guy. And Sarah's just like, oh no, I have my sights set on Matt, but I can see Raven and I can see her getting the other girls to try to convince her. And Jasmine, I'm shocked that you are such a follower. But anyway, I can see them all trying to convince Sarah, but I'm rocking with Sarah because Sarah's just like, this is a dude that I am interested in. So I'm going to go with it. Whether he went on a date with Raven or not, I'm interested in him. And you girls have to all stop this. Well, if she does that, then we're not really friends because she's like one of my really good girlfriends and she's going out with this guy. You were all on the TV show that the end game was like an engagement ring or a wedding. This is not normal. This Bachelor Paradise, Bachelorette, Bachelor world is not normal. You are working in in a weird space. This world is not normal. So you cannot take normal standards and put them on this show. Like, no woman, no guy is off limits in the Bachelor world. Like, whoever wants them, whoever is attracted to each other, that's going to happen. So if Matt is receptive to Sarah, then that just has to happen. You guys are all not best friends and good girlfriends. Y'all just met. Calm down. Like, they are so immature. This is like how these relationships form. They go at the pace of like third graders. You know what I mean? Like in a summer camp, like it's just so weird that adults are applying these immature like relationship milestones or statuses to adult situations. It's really, really weird. Ben, stop it with the dog. I'm telling you, dude, if you keep on, because as soon as Sarah gets there, she listens to the girls and she tries to talk to Ben, but he starts talking to her about the dog and she's just checked out. Ben, bro, I'm telling you the truth. If you don't stop talking about this dog, your only partner for the rest of your life will be your dog. And you know what, come to think of it, I think you want that. I think you'll be just fine with it being you and your dog for the rest of your life. So Adam is in paradise with all of these beautiful ladies and he still got his mind on Rachel. A sister will do that to you. Always leave him longing for the brown sugar. Oh gosh, at this point, Chris Harrison, please let Wells get into the Bachelor in Paradise orgy, okay? At this point, this is what it is. So Danielle can find a husband because she's not even trying to make any connections with any guys because her mind and her heart is all on Wells. And then she tries to act surprised that something actually happened at the end. I'm like, girl, that was the only dude you talked to this entire time you were here. Oh, it's so hard to watch Lacey get politely declined by even the most basic men on this show. Poor thing. Poor thing. So Lacey gets a date rose and I immediately start cringing because I know that any guy who will go out with her is just doing it just because. Even Ben, he was just like, I'll go on a date with you, but I'm just going to have a good time. Like, we're friends. Like, there's nothing there. Diggy accepts it because he knows that she will be the one who will keep him there with the rose. And on this date, it's just really, really awkward. You can see that there's no kind of attraction from Diggy's end. It's all Lacey. He keeps on saying he's having a great time on the day. He's so happy that he's here. This place is beautiful. Nothing to Lacey. He even kisses her, and it's just such an uncomfortable kiss. Lacey is all over Diggy. Diggy is not over Lacey. Case in point, because as soon as they get back, Dominique and her paradise braids sashays down the steps and Diggy loses his mind. The way he reacted to her, he never gave an ounce of that to Lacey. Oh, poor Lacey. I feel like I want to say this until like she gets voted off the island because she sees how Dom and Diggy are responding to each other. She's now mad at Taylor because Taylor and Dom are really good friends. And I don't understand why she singled Taylor out because everybody was telling Dom that Diggy is the dude for you, but Lacey just singled out Taylor and she was really upset with her because she felt like she was forcing her friend to go out with Diggy. I felt like Taylor was just being a good friend and she was just like, I know you, this guy is a good guy for you, and Lacey, don't harm me as well because I like Diggy and Dom together. They're like right now at this point one of my favorite couples because I think it's real. I think that their attraction is real. Even Diggy, like, he's just so much more comfortable around her, and I'm seeing a side of him that I hadn't seen when he was on dates with Rachel. Like, when he was around her, he was just a different dude, and when he was around Lacey, he's just like, I feel like Dean just morphs into whoever he needs to be so that he can stay on this show. But when he was with Dom, he was just, I felt like this is who Diggy is. I really, really do, and I felt like she was very comfortable with him. I like them. I like this couple. I finally have a couple that I like on Bachelor in Paradise. I'm not feeling any other couple. Yeah. But I'm here for Diggy and Dom. Dee. Oh, D&D. Oh. Lacey, don't kill me. Elle decides to leave because she just says that her future is not here in Paradise. She cannot find it. She cannot see it. I think it's because she spent so much time with Wells. And then finally, when she decides to leave, she's saying goodbye to everybody. Wells walks her outside and then he kisses her. Listen, I know a lot of people were falling out on Twitter over this kiss and their love story. And I'm like, where? Where was the love story? Now, I saw them building something but they never really addressed anything. So for Wells to kiss her while she's leaving and like tongue her down was so awkward. I was like, wait a minute, we gotta have a conversation. We gotta establish something before you stick your tongue down my throat. And even Danielle, who is attracted to Wells, was just like, I didn't expect that. I'm not saying she didn't like it, but it was uncomfortable for me because there was nothing established. They never talked about anything. They just talked around it, and we could all sense it, right? We could all sense it and we could see it, but nobody reacted on it until she's leaving. Get the hell out of here. I'm actually glad that we have this DeMario segment. I think it should have been before the show or after. I don't think it should have still been attached to this show. It just came at a really weird time because I felt like we didn't get any closure with this episode, and then we just went into DeMario crying. It was just, the editing. Okay, so Chris Hansen is teasing that we're going to get to sit down with DeMario. We come back from commercial, and it's that freaking couple. Evan and Carly. I'm like, why are y'all back? Didn't y'all get married? So we come back and I think he's going to start doing this live thing now. So he's talking to them and they tell him that he's pregnant and they do a live ultrasound. Weird. They do this whole live ultrasound thing and then he invites DeMario out to speak. And I'm like, why would we have this whole recap of their marriage? Like this poor couple, their whole love story has been put right smack dab in between a sexual assault season. Every time we try to get to if there was a sexual assault or not, we always first cut to Carly and the pirate, Carly and Evan. We always cut to them first before we go into these allegations. What are you trying to tell us, Chris? What is going on? This is so weird. Having said that, I hope you guys have a very successful marriage. Congrats to you all and the baby. Even though I have no idea who you are, I feel bad that your marriage is like being linked to this like sexual assault season. Congrats. Now, DeMario has not been my favorite, right? But he won me over. He won me over in this interview. My heart broke for him. I was crying with him because I felt very, very bad because it's coming out, like what they're telling us and what we've already known at this point, after all the drama and the media firestorm that this has been, that, nothing happened. There were allegations made and they were both drunk. So they didn't remember much, but what is the truth of the fact of the matter is nothing happened. No assault happened. And, he had experience. I watched another interview with him prior to this and he was talking about a lot of racism that he was experiencing. And I'm not shocked, right? But if you've never experienced racism, it's still, even though if it's happened to you and you're used to it, it still cuts every time. So I can only imagine what he was dealing with as somebody who was being plagued as like this black man that raped this white woman, this unconscious white woman. So I just really feel bad for him when he was crying about his mom. And, can you just imagine being a mom and your son is being called like a rapist? And he said that she's defending him on Facebook and he wanted her to get out of it because he doesn't want her name to be tarnished or her to be looked at negatively because she's getting involved in this drama. And I felt bad for the dude. I really, really did. I'm glad that we got to hear from him. I wish we could have heard from him in a different aspect. Like, I just didn't think it should have been attached on the end of this show. I think he deserves more of a sit down and I think he deserves an apology. I really, really do. I think the studio should apologize to him. The show should apologize to him. And I really hope that, because it doesn't seem like DeMario was suing, I hope he got some kind of deal out of it. I hope you guys are cutting him a nice check or have cut him a nice check. And I hope you are going to support him in his entertainment career because he really took a fall for this show. And I just feel bad for the dude. However, he did say that this has opened up his mind and he's been able to see things differently. He's really going to change how he acts from here on out. And I think we're going to see a better side of DeMario. And I'm happy for him. I'm really happy that he is at least trying to turn such a negative situation into something positive. So I really do. I hope the best for him. Your slate is wiped clean with me, DeMario. Until you piss me off again. But I think you learned your lesson. I really, really do. And I wish the best for him because I wouldn't wish this on anybody. So anyway, that's where it ends. We get a preview of next week. It seems like Taylor and Budget John Krasinski are going to come to like a lock in their relationship. So some things are going to start falling apart for them. No tea, no shade, Taylor. I hope it kind of does because I feel like you can do a lot better. And I think that there are more guys who will probably match you perfectly. I think that you and Budget John fell into something way, way, way too early. So I'm thinking that there's a better partner for you. Then we also get to see Jasmine snatch the wig of some virgin who's coming from that. Also get to hear Corinne's side of the story. Now that I'm really interested in seeing, because her and ABC and the show weren't on good terms in the beginning, especially after she lawyered up. So I'm interested in hearing what she has to say, and if Chris will take it easy on her like he did with DeMario, as he should have, or if he will, you know, come out guns blazing, because he is a part of the network in the show. So we'll see what happens there. Anyway, that's where it ends. This has been my review. Thank you all for sticking with me and being so patient. I truly appreciate it. Like I said, in my first review of Bachelor in Paradise, I had family visiting, so I just didn't have time to review. I've also had to deal with some YouTube drama with some Brian and Rachel fans who was trying to shut the sister down, but I'm still here, haters. You can't get rid of me. Anyway, thank you all for sticking around. I totally appreciate it. I'll be keeping up with this show now that I'm back on track. I'm actually going to be going home to Philly for a few days. So I'll be in Philly, I think, for the next 2 or 3 shows of The Bachelor in Paradise. So what I will be doing, because I will be on East Coast time, and because I have so many questions, because I do not know who these people are, I am going to go live after each episode, because I have a ton of questions, and you guys always fill me in with some good tea. So please join me on Instagram. Oh, you know what? My sister suggested this, and this is what I'll do. I'll go Instagram Live Monday night after Bachelor in Paradise episode, and then because I know a lot of you don't have Instagram, I'll go Facebook Live on Tuesday. So if you don't have Instagram, if you got Facebook, we can chat there, and we can talk about Bachelor in Paradise. Thank you all. I totally appreciate the fun that we have here, and I really do appreciate you all checking in on me and just stopping by to see the kid. I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.